Russia is rapidly heading towards defeat in its war against Ukraine, and massive, brutal strikes against Ukraine will not help prevent this scenario. This defeatist statement was made by the well-known Russian Z-propagandist, angry patriot, Maxim Kalashnikov. He stated that there was no point in massive shelling of Ukraine. Striking airfields with drones that are like spitting peas at a wall from a tube. To seriously disable a military-industrial complex plant, we need not low-yield Iranian kamikaze drones like Shahid/Geranium, but dozens of precision-guided munitions with half-ton warheads. Basically, they're shooting at an elephant with small shot again, Kalashnikov said. Kalashnikov stated that Ukraine's attacks on oil refineries, gas pumping stations, and pipelines are no longer pinpoint actions, but a systematic campaign aimed at Russia's economic shattering. I can state that the situation is deteriorating. The fuel crisis is developing now. The voices of those who say that they have to switch to ration consumption using coupons, basically fuel cards, are becoming louder and louder, he said. Recall, Kiev first stepped up drone attacks on Russian refineries, pumping stations, and fuel trains in an attempt to disrupt fuel supply chains over the summer when demand is traditionally high as people drive more during vacation time. While Russian officials initially blamed the shortages on logistical reasons, and promised gasoline and diesel would begin flowing again, the shortages have only worsened in recent weeks. The Ukrainian Air Force said it struck multiple Russian fuel production sites and pumping stations. It's worth noting that hospitals and residential buildings came under attack from Russian drones and missiles that night. There were civilian casualties, including a 12-year-old girl. However, this didn't alarm the Z-blogger. He was more upset by the fact that the Russian armed forces began using, in his opinion, very few missiles in the shelling. There were very few actual missiles, only 40. A laughing stock. This is not a good sign. There's no sign of a way out of the deadlock. Zelensky promises to cut off Moscow's power supply in response. They should have also flown a kite over Brussels. Tactics without strategy is vanity before defeat, the propagandist lamented.
Война пошла на, не на полное уничтожение, конечно, Российской Федерации, но на ее сокрушение. Прежде всего, конечно, экономическое, поскольку вы сами понимаете, что падение нефтеэкспортных доходов на фоне вообще не очень высоких цен на нефть – это удар, что называется, такой стальной балкой ниже пояса. То есть, по сути дела, война идет всерьез на то, чтобы мы потерпели поражение. А поражение же можно потерпеть не обязательно, что ВСУ, простите, так сказать, там что какой-то котел устроит большой или там до Москвы дойдут. Вот. Да нет, конечно, поражение можно потерпеть, заработав экономический крах в своем тылу. И все, как говорится, последующие события. Вот. Это уже бывало в мировой истории. Вот. И вы понимаете, что, так сказать, это просто звенья одной цепи. Туда же, в ту же цепь, можно, так сказать, вот этой войны на наше сокрушение, можно отнести, конечно же, удары по нефтеперерабатывающим заводам, вот, которые начались уже совершенно, так сказать, широкомасштабно, вот, на промышленной основе. Это удары по газоперекачивающим станциям нефтепровода «Дружба», вот, попытки удара по станциям, опять же, перекачивающим «Голубого потока», это газ в Турцию. Вот, то есть, на самом деле, вот они, свидетельства вот этой вот самой войны всерьез. Я могу констатировать, что идет ухудшение, но сейчас говорят где-то примерно 17% нефтеперерабатывающих мощностей, причем это, конечно, не картина в среднем по стране, да, надо брать почти европейскую часть. Вот сейчас топливный кризис развивается. Вот сейчас все сильнее звучат голоса тех, кто говорит, что придется переходить на, так сказать, нормированное потребление как по талонам, фактически по карточкам.
Ukraine is dealing a serious blow to the Russian economy by attacking oil and gas facilities. As part of a carefully planned campaign, Ukrainians have caused Russia approximately $100 billion in damage, The Sun reports. Military intelligence expert Philip Ingram told reporters that Ukrainian ingenuity is striking at the heart of the Russian economy. He asserted that precision strikes against oil and gas facilities are aimed at destabilizing Russian dictator Vladimir Putin's military machine. Long-range drones, flying 1,000 kilometers or more, are turning Russia's vast oil and gas empire into a chain of hellfire, the expert said. Ingram acknowledged that while this plan is a bold gamble, it is a brilliant move aimed at conveying the reality of war to Russians. However, the consequences for Russia go beyond the inconvenience to citizens' daily lives. The expert shared that Ukrainian strikes could cause a serious fuel shortage. He is confident that this could put enormous pressure on the Kremlin's ability to continue the war against Ukraine. The publication noted that Russian energy exports accounted for 40% of the budget before the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. However, even taking into account Western sanctions, oil and gas exports still account for 30% of Russia's revenue. Ukraine, by targeting Russian oil, is directly attacking the invasion's logistical lifeline. The goal is to cut funding for the war. Striking oil refineries is a direct blow to the Kremlin's revenue, Ingram explained. The expert believes that such operations were carried out with the help of Ukraine's allies. Ukrainian intelligence, likely with the assistance of Western partners and insiders on the ground, identified the most critical and vulnerable parts of each facility, Ingram said. According to the expert, the main goal of Ukrainian operations is to destroy complex, expensive, and virtually irreplaceable oil refineries. He emphasized that such facilities often require specialized Western technology, which is difficult for Russia to obtain due to sanctions. Repairing one of these installations isn't a matter of weeks. It's a matter of months, if not years, the expert explained. Ingram stated that even a single attack by a cheap drone could cause billions of dollars in damage to Russia and cripple a facility that makes a huge contribution to Moscow's military efforts. This, he said, is the precise definition of asymmetric warfare. The expert doesn't rule out the possibility that serious economic problems could lead to destabilization in Russian society. He stated that Putin's greatest fear is a popular uprising. Ukraine's message is clear and audible in Moscow: we can hurt you, and this war will be costly to your economy and your people, Ingram emphasized.